Okay. See here. I'm starting the session. Listen. In previous session, very clearly we discussed about set operators like union, all intersect and minus we have seen. In today's session, I want to cover DCL commands. Total 18 SQL commands are there. In the initial classes, I covered all these DDL commands, 7 DDL commands, 8th command select, insert, update, delete. Okay, 9, 10, 11. 14 commands we discussed in the SQL commands. Next, we need to discuss about this grant and revoke, two DCL commands, insert, all and merge. These 4 commands we need to discuss. In today's session, mainly we focus on DCL commands, grant and revoke. If time is there, I come to this insert all, but mostly we focus on DCL commands. Based on the time, I come to insert all. So topic name is DCL. Listen carefully. You already know DCL stands for data control language. This DCL can be also called as ACL. It can be also called as ACL. ACL stands for accessing control language. It mainly deals with data accessibility. The sublanguage deals with data accessibility. Okay, understand this point. Every user has their own private data. Suppose there is a user is there. C hashes batch 2 p.m. He is the owner of EMP table. So owner of this EMP table is C hashes batch 2 p.m. C hashes batch 2 p.m. is the owner. Now this table can be accessed by this owner, C hashes batch 2 p.m. and DBA. DBA can access any user's table and others cannot access it. For example, there is one user is there, user A. If user A wants to access batch 2 p.m. user CMP table, he cannot access by default. Like this, every user has their own private data. There is another user is there, user B. Another user is there, user C. Can user B access C hashes batch 2 p.m. tables? No. Can user C access batch 2 p.m. users tables? No. Why? Security. This user concept purpose is security only. To provide security only, they invented user concept. Your mails are private to you only. I cannot check your mails. You cannot check my mails. User concept purpose is security. My mails can be checked by me only. Your mails can be checked by you only. Security. User concept purpose is security only. In the same way, here, this batch 2 p.m. user, once again I'm telling sir, batch 2 p.m. user created this EMP table. Now who can access this EMP table? Owner can access. This owner can access it. DBA can access it. DBA can access it. Owner can access it. Others cannot access. User A, user B, they cannot access batch 2 p.m. users EMP table because this is private. This is private to that user only. Others cannot access by default. Now suppose user A wants to access our table. User A wants to access batch 2 p.m. users table. Then he asks permission now. If batch 2 p.m. wants to give permission, he uses grant command. Grant. Using grant command, we can give permission on our tables to other users. Okay. Permission granted. Okay. After some time, or after some days or after some months, if he wants to cancel the permission, he uses revoke command. That's it, sir. If this batch 2 p.m. user is giving permission to user A, user A can access this table now. So to give permission to other users, we use the command grant. To cancel those permissions, we use the command revoke. So this grant, revoke, these are the two DCL commands. If we want to give permission on our tables to other users, use grant. The name is giving the meaning grant. With grant, we are granting permission to allow our table data, to access our table data, we are giving permission. To cancel those permissions, revoke. So who can access our table data? Who cannot access? We can control. So it deals with data accessibility. So Oracle SQL provides following DCL commands. First one is grant and second one is revoke. Grant and revoke. These are the two DCL commands. So when to use grant? To give permission on database objects to other users, use it. So it is it to give permission on database objects. Database objects means tables, views, etc. So grant command is it to give permission on database objects to other users. How to use this command? See, very easy. Just apply the common sense. Grant. Which permissions you want to grant? Give that permissions list. So I'm using one technical term here. Permissions means privileges. Privileges means permissions. Give privileges list. Means permissions list. Which permissions you want to grant? On which database object? On which table or on which view? Give that name. Syntax is very clear. I'm not telling that names. I'm not using plural. I'm using singular. You can give only one table name or one view name. Only one name you can give. This is singular, not plural. To whom you are giving permission? Give that users list. At a time, you can give permission to multiple users also. Users list we are specific. To whom you want to give permission? Just apply the common sense. Grant. Which permissions? That you are telling. That you are telling here. On which table? On which table you are granting permission? That you are telling here. To whom you are granting permissions? That you are telling here. Simple. Grant. Which permissions you are granting? Tell that. On which table? Tell that. To whom you want to give permissions? Tell that. Simple. Suppose this C hash batch 2 p.m. He is the owner of this EMP table. Now you tell me, sir, who can access this table? This owner, C hash batch 2 p.m. or DP? Can user A access it? No. Security. So now there is user A is there. He is asking that he wants to access this EMP table data. So there is one user is there, user A. So he is asking to batch 2 p.m. user that I want to access your EMP table data. Give me permission. Like this he is asking. If batch 2 p.m. user wants to give permission, he writes like this, grant. Grant. Which permission he is granting? select permission. Which permission he is granting? Select permission on which table? EMP table. To whom he is giving permission? C hash hash user A. That's it. So to user A on EMP table, he is giving select permission. Now user A, if he wants to access batch 2 p.m. users EMP table, he writes like this. Select star from. Understand this point? Owner can write table name directly. Owner can write table name directly. But who is the owner now? Batch 2 p.m. So if user A wants to access, he cannot write like this. He must write owner name. C hash hash batch 2 p.m. dot emp. C hash hash batch 2 p.m. users. EMP table data is retrieving. If owner is accessing, if batch 2 p.m. is accessing, he writes like this. Select star from EMP. If owner is accessing, he can write table name directly. It works. But user A is not owner of EMP table. User A wants to access batch 2 p.m. users EMP table. So he has to write owner name dot table. If owner is accessing, owner can write table name directly. Why? Because implicitly it takes current user name. Implicitly by default it takes current user name. EMP means C hash hash batch 2 p.m. dot EMP only. Implicitly it takes current user name only. If another user wants to access, he must prefix with owner name. Owner name dot table name. Owner name dot table name. Remember this. Suppose if user A is writing like this, what is the meaning of this one? You know, the meaning of this one is C hash hash user A dot emp. Current user name dot emp. But user A wants to access batch 2 p.m. user CMP table. So he must write owner name dot table name. Did you understand this point, sir? Next. So now, can user A insert record into batch 2 p.m. user CMP table? Can he insert the record? No. Can he insert the record? No. It gives error. He has no permission to insert the record here. Just he has only permission to read the data. Only select permission is there. He has no insert permission. If you want to give that insert, update, delete permissions, write like this. Grant. Which permissions? Insert, update, delete. DML permissions. DML permissions we are given. To on which table? EM. To whom we are giving permission? C hash hash user A. That's it. Now again, if user A submits this query, it works now. One row create. So he can update also. Update C hash hash batch 2 p.m. dot EMP where salary equals to salary plus 1000. 14 rows updated. Observe. Now user A can insert records into batch 2 p.m. users EMP table because he got insert permission. User A can modify batch 2 p.m. users EMP table data because he got update permission. In the same way, he can delete also. So here we are granting select permission to user A. User A can read the data. Here we are giving DML permissions to user A. User A can insert, update, and delete. Means he can write the data also. No. But can he modify the table structure? No. Alter table. C hash hash batch 2 p.m. dot emp. Add. He is trying to add one column. Gender. Char data type. Can he add the column? No. Error. He has only select permission, insert update permissions. He has no alter permission. He cannot alter. If you want to give all permissions, just write like this. Grant all. All permissions I am giving. So this is the way of giving select permission. This is the way of giving DML permissions. If we want to grant all permissions, here write all. All permissions we are given. So all means select, insert, update, delete, alter, flashback, like this. Okay, like this, etc. Like this total 12 permissions. These 6 we know, sir. Remaining 6 as of now we don't know. Total all is equals to 12 permissions. All is equals to 12 permissions. Okay. These 6 we know. Remaining 6 as of now we cannot understand. In the notes I provide all 12 permissions. All is equals to 12 permissions. So this is the way of granting permissions. So to give permission to other users, use grant command. Next, revoke command. Is it clear about grant, sir? Did you understand the purpose? Using grant command, we can give permissions on database objects to other users. Grant which permissions on which table to whom? Tell that word. Simple. Next, revoke command. Revoke. It is used to cancel the permissions. To give permissions, grant. To cancel the permissions, revoke. Is it to cancel the permissions on database objects from users? See the syntax here? Write like this. Revoke. Revoke. Which permissions? Permissions list. We already know permissions list. Select, insert, update, delete, flashback, alter, like that. On which database object? Database object means table name or view name. From which users you are cancelling? Give users list. Suppose I want to cancel DML permissions on EMP table from user A. Write like this. Revoke. Which permissions you want to cancel? Insert, update, delete permissions. On which table? EMP. From which user we are cancelling these permissions? User A. Now user A cannot perform DMLs on our EMP table. No, if you want to cancel all permissions, now user A cannot access our EMP table. All permissions we are cancelling. Finally, the conclusion is to give permission on our table, this is our table. On our table, if you want to give permission to other users, use the command grant. If you want to cancel these permissions, use the command revoke. Revoke all on EMP from C hash user A, like this. To give permission to other users, grant. To cancel those permissions, revoke. So this is about grant revoke purpose. If you understand the purpose, we can move forward, sir. Please confirm. Is it clear up to here? Online students, please confirm. Is it clear up to here? Next. Okay, good. Now, with one example I am taking, sir. With one example, I cover complete concept of grant and revoke. One example application I am taking now. Listen carefully. Example on grant, revoke. Example on grant and revoke. First, create two new users with the names C hash user A, C hash user B. Create two new users. How to create the users? You already know. In the initial class, I covered this one. Creating user. In the initial classes, we discussed about creating user. How to create the user, sir? Create user, username identified by password. Who creates the user, sir? Who creates the user? DBA. So login as DBA, create the user. After creating the user, which permissions we have to give? Connect, grant connect resource, unlimited table space permission to username. So write these two commands. So now I want to create user A. So write like this, create user C hashes user A. Identified by password is user A. Grant connect permission, resource permission, unlimited table space permission to C hashes user A. Right like this. User A is created. Simple. The same way to create user B, write B here. C hashes user B, password is B. Grant connect resource unlimited table space to user B. So create two new users here. You tell me, sir. First open SQL plus. Who creates the user, sir? Please confirm. Who creates user? So we need to log in as DBA. For DBA, what is the username? System. Okay. Observe now. If any user is there with user A, I'm dropping that one. Drop user. User A. Cascade. User B. Cascade. Now, fresh two new users I want to create. So current user is DBA. Just check here. Show user. Current user is DBA. As DBA, create user A. Tell me the command, sir. Create user C hashes user A. Identified by user A. User A created. Observe. Give three permissions to user A. What to write? Connect, comma, resource, comma, unlimited table space. To whom we are giving these permissions? C hashes user. In the same way, create user B also. Create user C hashes user B. Identified by user B. Grant connect resource unlimited table space to C hashes user B. Two users are ready. Two users created permanently. Now what we have to do is, I'm sorry. Two new users created. Okay. User A is ready. User B is ready. What we have to do is open two SQL plus windows. Understand this point, sir? In real time, this user A works with one mission. User B works with another mission. All these users connects to server. User A works with one computer. User B works with another computer. So these two users connected to server. User A's database object stored in the server only. User B's database objects stored in the server only. But user A's objects cannot be accessed by user B. User B's objects cannot be accessed by user A by default. This is real-time environment. In real time, user A works with one mission, user B works with another mission. But I am using one laptop only here. In my laptop only, I want to work as user A, I want to work as user B. What I have to do now? I have to open two SQL plus windows. This is first SQL plus window. This is second SQL plus window. In first SQL plus window, this is first SQL plus window. This is second SQL plus window. With one SQL plus window, we can log in as one user only. So with left side SQL plus window, I'm logging as user A. With right side SQL plus window, I'm logging as user B. So like this, we need to log in. Like this, we need to log in. So in real time, user A works with one computer, user B works with another computer. but I am using my laptop for training purpose. In my laptop, how can I work as multiple users? Open multiple SQL plus windows. With first SQL plus window, login as user A. With second SQL plus window, login as user B. So this left side SQL plus window actions are user A actions. Right side SQL plus window actions are user B actions. Like this, open two SQL plus windows, arrange them side by side like this. First SQL plus window, first SQL plus window, second SQL plus window. Arrange them side by side like this. Left side login as user A. Right side login as user B. Like this. So with one SQL plus window, we can log in as one user only. At a time, only one user can be active with one SQL plus window. Multiple users cannot connect with one SQL plus window. That is why with this SQL plus window, I'm logging as user A. With this SQL plus window, I'm logging as user B. Left side user is user A. Check here. Show user. User A. Observe. Right side user is user B. Observe. These are left side actions are user A actions. Right side actions are user B actions. So like this we have to do. Like this we have to practice. Now what user A is doing, observe now, open two SQL plus windows, arrange them side by side. Left side login as user A, right side login as user B. Left actions are user A actions, right actions are user B actions. Understand now? Now user A is creating one table like this. Table name is T1. First column F1, second column F2. Inside rows like this. 1A, 2B. Understand here? Who is creating this T1 table? User A. Who is the owner of T1 table? User A. So create table like this. Create table T1. F1 column int data type. F2 column char data type. Bracket close semicolon. Table created. Insert the records. Insert into T1 values 1A, 2B. 1A, 2B. Two rows created. Save it. Understand, sir? You tell me, sir. Who created this table? Who is the owner of this T1 table? User A. Now user B wants to access it, sir. User B wants to access it. User B wants to access it. So he is submitting like this. User B is submitting like this now. Select star from. He has to write owner name. Owner name dot table name. User A dot. Can he access as of now, sir? Huh? Can user B access user A's T1 table? यूजर बी यूजर ए का टेबल एक्सेस कर सकते या नहीं? नो, he cannot access. User B cannot access user A's T1 table. It gives error now. It gives error as table does not exist. Table does not exist. But table existed or not? Yes, we are seeing it. But Oracle is telling that table does not exist because user B has no permission to access user A's T1 table. So now user B requesting to the user A. Okay, user A, I want to access your T1 table data. Please give me permission. Like this user B is asking to user A. This user B asking to the user A that user A, give me permission on your T1 table. I want to work with your T1 table data. Like this is asking permission. If user B wants to give, user A wants to give permission, what he writes, sir? He wants to give read only permission. Read only permission means select permission. So what he writes? He writes like this. It gives output as grant succeeded. Now understand now. On user A's T1 table, he is giving select permission to user B. Now user B, can read user A's T1 table data. Okay, it displays data here because he got permission. User A's T1 table data accessed by user B. User B is accessing user A's table data here. It is displaying because he got permission. Before permission, error. After permission, displaying data. So this is the way of using grant command. Now he is trying to insert the record like this. It gives error. He has no insert permission. He is trying to update. It gives error. He is trying to delete. It gives error. He has no DML permissions. He has only select permission. Suppose again user B is requesting to user A, give me DML permissions. If user A wants to give DML permissions, he writes like this: grant, insert, update, delete. On which table? To whom he is giving permission? That's it. Now again user B he is submitting insert into C hash hash user A dot T1 values 3 C. It gives output as one row created. Notice here. Now user B, this user B, he is inserting this record into user A's T1 table. In the user A's T1 table, user B inserted record. Why is able to insert? Because he got insert permission. Before this permission, it was giving error. After permission, he is able to insert the record. The same way he can update also, he can delete also, he can test. I'm not writing that. He can update also, update possible, he can delete also possible. Okay, so this is the way of giving permissions. If we want to cancel those permissions, which command we have to use, sir? Remove. Okay. No, if you want to give all permissions, suppose if you want to give all permissions, right like this, sir. Grant all on T1 2 C hash hash user B. Now user B can use alter command also. Alter table C hash hash user A dot T1 add he is adding F3 column date. In user A's T1 table, user B is adding a column. He can change the table structure also because he got all permissions. Now I want to cancel all these permissions. So to cancel all these permissions, revoke all on T1 from C hash hash user B. All permissions cancelled. No, if you want to cancel only update permission, if you want to cancel only update, insert, delete permissions, right? If you want to cancel all permissions, right like this. All permissions we are cancelling. Now user B cannot access our table now. If he tries to access our table data like this, it gives error. It gives error as table does not exist. Right. So finally the conclusion is, if we want to give permission on our table to other users, use grant command. If we want to cancel those permissions, use revoke. To give permissions to other users, grant. To cancel those permissions, revoke. So this one only I'm showing. Observe here. Just now we created a user A and user B. I'm opening two SQL Plus windows. Observe. This is first SQL Plus window. This is second SQL plus window. Till now, whatever I explained, that one only I'm showing, sir. Left side I'm logging as user A. Right side I'm logging as user B. Left side I'm setting page size, line size, and clearing the screen. Right side also I'm setting page size, line size, and clearing the screen. Okay. Observe, sir. I opened two SQL plus windows, arranged those windows side by side. Left side, I logged in as user A. Check here. Show user. Who is the left side user? Observe. Left side user is user A. Who is the right side user? Observe. Right side user is user B. Left side user A. Right side user B, sir. Observe. Left actions, user A actions. Right actions, user B actions. Now user A creating one table T1 with F1 column int data type, F2 column char data type. Who is the owner of T1 table? User A. Is inserting some records like this. Insert into T1 values 1, A, 2, B. To save it, right? Commit. Open and see the table data. Observe, sir. Select star from T1. User A is the owner of this table. Now user B wants to access it. So user B is writing like this. Select star from owner name dot table name. C hash hash. User A dot T1. It is giving error. Observe, sir. It is telling that table does not exist. It is telling T1 table does not exist. It is telling. But T1 table existed. We are seeing it. Because user B has no permission. This user B has no permission to access our table data. Now user B requesting user A, please give me permission to access T1 table data. Now user A wants to give select permission. So he writes like this, grant select on T1 to C hash hash user B. Typing mistake is there. Observe. Grant succeed. Now again user B is submitting select command. Now it is displaying data. Observe, sir. He received select permission. Observe. User B is accessing user A's table data. So this is the way of giving permission. Now user B inserting record into user A's table. Observe. Insert into user A dot T1 values 3C. It gives error now. He has only select permission. He has no insert permission. It is giving error. Insufficient privileges. Missing insert privilege, it is telling. Missing insert privilege on T1, it is telling. See here, table name prefixed with owner. Observe. So he has no insert permission. So I want to give DML permissions now. How to give DML permissions? Grant, insert, update, delete, on, T1, 2, C hash hash. User B. After giving this permission, observe now, user B, he is inserting in user A's T1 table, record accepted. Observe, sir. In user A's T1 table, user B inserted this record. It accepted because of insert permission. Now, is it inserted in the user A's T1 table or not? Check here. Select star from T1. Observe, sir. 3C inserted or not? No. There is no 3C. Observe. Why? Because this record is stored in the instance. Whereas it is retrieving from the database. This 3C not stored in the database. This 3C stored in the instance. That is why it is not reflected to owner. So save it now. How to save you already know. How to move data from instance to database you already know. Commit. Commit. After commit, now it is saved permanently in the database. Now it will be reflected to owner. It will be reflected to owner now. Now owner is submitting select star from T1. Reflected or not? In user A's T1 table, user B inserted this record. After commit only, it will be reflected to owner. Okay. In the same way, you can update also. Update permission is also there. Update C hash hash. C hash hash user A dot T1 set set F set F2 equals to Z, F2 equals to Z, where F1 equals to 1. This A, I'm modifying as Z. Updated, observe. Because of he has update permission, he is able to update. But it updated in the instance. That is why it is not reflected to owner. It is not reflected to owner, observe. After commit, it will be reflected to owner. Modified, see. In user A's T1 table, user B modified. In the same way, he can delete also. Observe. Delete from C hash hash user A dot T1, where F1 equals to 1. First record deleted. Commit. After commit, it will be reflected to owner. First row deleted. Observe, sir. This first row deleted by user B. User B deleted from user A's T1 table. So user B is able to insert, update, and delete. Practically, we are seeing. Okay. Now, this user B, he is trying to add a column here. Alter table. C hash hash user A dot T1. Add F3 date data type. He is trying to add column. Has no alter permission. Error. Insufficient privileges. You don't have permission, it is select. I want to give this permission also. So, right, grant all. All permissions we are giving. On which table? T1 table. To whom we are giving these permissions? C hash hash user B. Grant succeeded. Now try to add the column. See, sir, column added, observe. Reflected to owner or not, check here. Select star from T1. Previously, T1 was having two columns, F1 and F2. Now T1 is having three columns. F3 added. This column added by user B. User B added F3 column in the T1 table. So this is the way of using grant command. Now I want to cancel all these permissions. To cancel those permissions, revoke all on T1 from C hash hash user B. All permissions cancelled now. Now user B cannot access. This user B cannot access user A's T1 table data. T1 does not exist in itself because permissions cancelled. So finally, the conclusion is to give permissions to other users, grant. To cancel those permissions, revoke. Okay. It is not that much important for Java developer or for .NET developer, for Java developer, for .NET developer, for Python developer. It is not that much important. For these developers, grant, revoke are not that much important. So for these developers, CRUD operations are important. CRUD operations means C means create means inserting record, R means read means select, U means update. D means delete. C means create, sir. Create means insert command. Creating row means insert command. R means read. For reading data from table, we use select command. U means update. D means delete. These CRUD operations are very important for Java developer, .NET developer, Python developer. Whereas this grant revoke, not that much important. For knowledge purpose, I explained. But for these are mainly used for administration purpose. For DBA, grant revoke are useful. Sometimes for SQL developer also, these are useful to give permissions to other users. For SQL developers, DBA, these grant revoke commands are useful. These are not that much important for Java developers, .NET developers, or Python developers. Important for DBA and SQL developer. For administration purpose, you can use grant and revoke. So DCL commands are over. So successfully we finished DCL topic. In the notes, very clearly I mentioned all these points, sir. Refer the notes and understand them. Okay. All is equivalent to 12 permissions. This 12 permissions list I have given. Observe. All means 12 permissions. What are those 12 permissions? Delete, index, insert, update, like this. Bhavana. Refer the notes. Refer the notes. DBA duties are installing Oracle, creating users, handling users, providing security. So grant revoke commands are security related, taking backups. Okay, if data is lost, recovering them. These are the duties of DBA. Importing data, exporting data. If they are changing version, upgradation. If they are changing complete backend or complete database only from Oracle to SQL Server migration. These are the duties of DBA. So DCL topic is over. So finally, the conclusion is to give permissions to other users grant, to cancel those permissions revoke. Is it clear up to here, sir? Is it okay about DCL? Online students, please confirm. Is it clear about DCL commands? In the notes, one or two some additional points may be there. Refer the notes and understand them. Next. Next topic is, listen. Topic name is copying table. Now I'm explaining about 3 points, sir. One is copying table. Another one is copying table structure. Another one is copying records. These 3 topics I explained now. One is copying table. Another one is copying table structure. Another one is copying records. We should aware of these points. Topic name is copying table, copying table structure, copying records. These 3 points we discussed now. Copying table structure, copying records. How to copy the table? Interviewers ask like this is interview question. How can we copy the table? See the syntax here. You already know how to create new table. How to create new table, you already know. Creating new table, you know. Observe. Create table, table name. In the parenthesis, we are defining the columns. It's column definitions. Column definitions we give. How to give column definitions, you already know. Column name, data type. If you want to define constraints, column name, data type, constraint, constraint name, constraint type. That's column definition. If you want to create new table with new columns, this is the style. But my requirement is from existing table, I want to create new table. From existing table, I want to create new table now. This is my requirement. From existing table EMP, I want to create new table EMP1. So from existing table EMP, I need to get the data. So to get the data, we need to write select command. So what we have to write is create table, table name. If you want to create with new fields, write like this. But from existing table, I want to create new table. So write select query to get data from existing table. You tell me, sir. Select query result means rows and columns are not. Select query result means rows and columns are not. So with this result, a new table created. Simple. With the select query result, new table created. That is called copying table. Copying table means creating new table from existing table. We are creating new table from this existing table. Okay. So just remember the syntax following. Copying table means this copying table means creating new table. Creating new table from existing table. So from existing table, we are creating new table here. That is called copying table. To get a grip on it, I am explaining 3 examples here. First example. First observe our EMP table data. Notice here. Let me log in as our batch user. C hash batch 2 PM. Observe. See, sir, this is the EMP table, existing table. It has 8 columns. Notice here. Employee number, rename, job, manager ID, 4 columns. Hire date, salary, commission, department number, 4 columns. Total 8 columns are there. EMP table has 8 columns. Select star from EMP. EMP table has 14 rows. So this EMP is the existing table. It has 8 columns, 14 rows. What is our requirement now? Create exact copy of EMP table with the name EMP1. Understand the question, sir? Exact copy of EMP I want to create. This is EMP table, existing table. It has 8 columns, 14 rows. So with the EMP table, 8 columns, 14 rows, I want to create new table. That new table name is EMP1. So in the EMP1, I want EMP table, all columns, all rows. So how to get EMP table, all columns, all rows, we already know. How to get EMP table, all columns, all rows, we already know. Select star from EMP. So we get EMP table, all columns, all rows. EMP table, 8 columns will be selected, 14 rows will be selected. With this result, with this select query result, I want to create new table EMP1. So what we are right? Create table EMP1 as select star from EMP. So with this select query result, new table EMP1 created. Exact copy of EMP1 created. This is copying table. Most of the interviewers ask this question. How can we copy the table? Tell this one. Use create command with select command. This select query result. With this select query result, new table created. This is copying table. Let me show this one only. Observe here. Okay, see here. As of now, there is no EMP1 table. Observe, sir. Select star from EMP1. There is no EMP1 table. Observe. EMP1 does not exist. So now I want to create new table EMP1 with EMP table columns and rows. Tell me the query, sir. What we are trying? That's it. What it is telling? Observe here. Table create. Now check EMP1 table structure. Describe EMP1. EMP1 has 8 columns or not? Employee number, ename, job, manager ID, height, date, salary, commission, department. EMP1 created with EMP table structure only. Check the rows. Select star from EMP1. It has also same 14 rows only. Observe. EMP table 14 rows only. With EMP table 14 rows only. With EMP table 14 rows only, EMP1 created. So this EMP1 table created with EMP table all columns, all rows. So this is the result of select star from EMP. With select star from EMP result, new table EMP1 created. This is copying table. Next, second question. You have to tell this. Okay. EMP table has 8 columns, 14 rows, sir. I want to create new table with the name EMP2 with 4 columns, managers rows. Understand the question, sir? We want to create new table with the name EMP2 with EMP table 4 columns. What are those 4 columns? Employee number, e-name, job, salary. With managers rows. Okay. Did you understand the question, sir? With the EMP table, 4 columns, managers rows. We want to create new table, EMP2. This EMP existing table, it has 8 columns, 14 rows. In the EMP2 table, we want EMP table 4 columns. What are those 4 columns? Employee number, e-name, job, salary. Which rows we want? Managers rows. How to get 4 columns and managers rows? Do you know this or not? From EMP table, how to get 4 columns and managers rows? Do you know that or not? Tell me that select query, sir. What we are trying? So this select query selects 4 columns, managers rows. With this, we want to create new table. So in front of this, what we need to write? Yes, that's it. Is it correct or not? Check here. Observe, sir. Copy this. See here. Table created. Observe. EMP2 new table created with EMP table 4 columns, manager source. So with this select query result, this select query result is 4 columns, managers rows. With this result, EMP2 table created. Check here. Select star from EMP2. Observe, sir. With EMP table 4 columns, managers rows, EMP2 created. So this is about copying table. Copying table means creating new table from existing table. So if anyone is asking, how can we copy the table? Simply tell, use create command with select command. Next, second point, copying table structure. Okay, is it clear about copying table? Copying table structure. This is also interview question. Many interviewers ask this one. How can we copy table structure? Same as copying table only, sir. But one change is there. You tell me this point, sir. I'm writing like this. What is the output we get now? What is the output we get, sir? What is the output we get? Managers rows we get. If this condition is true, row will be selected. If this condition is false, row will not be selected. Am I correct? Is my statement right or wrong? If this condition is true, row will be selected. If this condition false, row will not be selected. Is the statement correct? Okay. So this condition is true. Manager equals to manager true. Display. Clerk equals to manager false. Not display. So if condition true, select the row. If condition false, will not select the row. Keep this point in your mind. Come to here. Copying table structure means, observe now. Okay. What is this one, sir? Is it table structure or not? This is table structure. Structure means columns or not? Columns. This is what data. This is data. This is data. So structure means columns. Data means rows. So what is the requirement? Copying table structure means we want this structure. We want to copy this structure. We want columns, but we don't want rows. Rows I don't want. So what we write here is create table. Give that new table name as write select query. How to write select command? You already know. Select columns list from table name. Where condition we write, you already know. Just now I have given this statement. If condition is true, select the rows. If condition is false, will not select the rows. What is the requirement now? We don't want rows now. We want columns only. We don't want rows. So write false condition. This condition should never be true. Such kind of condition we have to write. The condition which is always false, that is false condition. Observe here. For example, I am writing like this. 1 equals to 2. Condition always false or not? This condition never be true. This is called false condition. A equals to B. This is called false condition. A never be equals to B. 500 equals to 600. False condition. So because of condition is always false, no rows will be selected. Because of condition is always false here, no rows will be selected. Only columns will be selected. Only column selected means only structure selected. Only structure will be copied because of false condition. So write like this. Create table name as select columns list from table name where in the where write false condition. So because of this false condition, Okay, no rows will be selected. When all conditions are false, no rows will be selected. Only columns are selected. Only columns are selected. Only columns are selected means only structure selected. So with this selected columns, with this structure, without rows, table will be created. New table will be created. This is copying table structure. So this is the key point here. Write any false condition. False condition means most of the developers write this one equals to 2. This is false condition. That condition never be true. Not only 1 equals to 2, any you can write a equals to b, 500 equals to 600, like this. Any false condition you can write. This condition never be true. Most of the developers use 1 equals to 2. I also use 1 equals to 2. And even if you use other conditions like a equals to b, okay, x equals to y, no problem. Those are also false conditions only. Write any false condition. So because of false condition, rows will not be selected. Only columns will be selected. Columns mean structure. Only structure will be copied here. Now, see one example to get grip on it. Question is, create a new table with the name EMP3. Create a new table with the name EMP3 with EMP table structure without rows. Understand the question here? This is EMP table, existing table. It has 8 columns. It has 14 rows. This is existing table. I want to create new table. This new table name is EMP3. In this new table, I want EMP table all columns. But I don't want any rows, without rows. This is my requirement. Did you understand the question? With the EMP table structure, we want to create EMP3, but we don't want rows. This is copying table structure. What we have to write, sir? Tell me. Create table EMP3 as. How to get all columns? Select star from EMP. Okay, if I write like this, if with EMP table all columns, all rows, EMP3 will be created. But what is our requirement? Without rows we want. We want structure. We don't want rows. So that is where write false condition. What we need to write? Where 1 equals to 2. This is called false condition. Let me run only select query. Observe here. See, sir. Select star from EMP. If I write like this, EMP table all columns, all rows I get. But I am writing where 1 equals to 2. No row selected. Observe. So what is happening here? On first row Smith, 1 equals to 2 condition applied. False. On second row Allen, 1 equals to 2 condition applied. False. On third row Ward, 1 equals to 2 condition applied. False. Like this on all rows, this condition applied. Always condition is false. All conditions are false. When all conditions are false, no rows will be selected. Structure selected here. So with this structure, you want to create new table EMP3. So write like this. Create table EMP3 as select star from EMP where 1 equals to 2. Check here. EMP3 table created with EMP table structure. Observe, sir. With EMP table structure, EMP3 created. Only structure is there. Data is not there. Check here. Select star from EMP3. No rows are there. No rows. Only structure copied here. So this is about copying table structure. Fayaz, you try it today. Constraints copied or not, you test it. Okay. For employee number, not null constraint is there. So not null constraint copied here. Remaining constraints, it is copying or not. You test. For employee number, not null is there. Not null constraint is also copied for EMP3. So constraint copied here. Remaining constraints, it is copying or not. When you are practicing, you test it. So this is about copying table structure. Copying table structure topic is over. Okay. Now you tell me, sir, just for knowledge purpose, you tell me, test your knowledge. EMP table is there. It has 8 columns, 14 rows. I want to create new table with the name EMP4. In the EMP4, I want the EMP table 4 columns, employee number, e-name, job, salary, but I don't want any rows. Copying table structure. Tell me, sir, what we need to write? Create table EMP4 as select from EMP. Okay, if we write this much only, all rows will be copied. 4 columns, all rows will be copied, but we don't want rows. Where 1 equals to 2. Working on a test here. See here, table create observe. Okay, now describe EMP4. EMP4 has 4 columns observe. Employee number, e-name, jobs. Select star from EMP4. No rows are there observe. So only structure copied. Rows not copied. Only structure copied. So this is the way of copying table structure. If anyone is asking, how can we, this is interview question, sir. Many interviewers ask this one. How can we copy table structure? Tell this one. Use create command with select command with false condition. This is important here. False condition is important. Because of this false condition only, rows are not selected, only structure selected. Third point, copying records. Third one, copying records. How to copy the records? Okay, please confirm, sir. Is it clear about copying table structure? Is it clear up to here? Next one is what? Copying records. How can we copy the records? Observe now. Vinay. 1 equals to 2 means this is false condition. This condition will be always false. This condition never be true. Means no rows will be selected. Only columns will be selected. 1 equals to 2 if you write, no rows will be selected. Because of false condition. Only columns are selected. Columns means structure. So with this structure, this new table created. So with this structure, without rows, new table created. Next, copying records. How can we copy the records? Observe. For copying records, syntax is insert into table name. Understand this one. Insert into table name. If we want to insert new values, we use values. Value list we give. So if you want to insert new record with new values, this is the style. You already know this one. Insert into okay. Insert into table name values list. Insert into table name values list. If you want to insert new record with new values, this is the style. If you want to insert new record with new values, this is the style. But what is my requirement now? This is existing table. These are existing table rows. These existing table rows, I want to select and I want to insert them into this table. This table. EMP table rows, I want to insert into EMP6. This is my requirement. So this EMP table rows, if we want, we have to use select command. So with the select command, I'm selecting EMP table all rows. Those I want to insert into EMP6. So I write like this, insert into EMP6. What we want to insert? Select star from EMP. Select star from EMP means EMP table all rows I am getting. EMP table all rows inserts into EMP6. So if you want to insert new record with new values, this is the style. But from existing table, I want to select the rows. Those are rows I want to insert. So right, select command here. So this select query result means that is having rows. So this select query result means those rows will be inserted into this table. This is copying rows. Sometimes we need to insert specific column values. 5 columns are there, 3 column values only we want to insert. At that time we give columns list. You already know this point. Specific columns list is optional. In the initial classes, in the insert command, I covered this point. This is the style for inserting all values. This is the style for inserting specific column values. So just remember this syntax, follow it. Now see one example to get grip on it. Suppose the question is, this is EMP table. Understand, sir? Topic name is copying records. Okay, interviewers ask like this, how can we copy the records? Use insert command with select command. What happens here? Select command result means we get some rows. So with this select query result, the select query result means we are getting some rows. So this select query result means these rows will be inserted into this table. This is called copying rows. From existing table, we are selecting the rows, we are inserting into new table. See one example on it. It's EMP table. It has 8 columns, 14 rows. This is EMP6, 8 columns, no rows. No rows. First, EMP6 is not existed. First, create EMP6. How to create EMP6 with EMP table 8 columns without rows, you already know. Write that create command now. What we are writing, sir? Equals true. So with EMP table structure without rows, EMP6 created. Now what is our requirement now? Copy EMP table 14 rows to EMP6. This is copying records. Copy EMP table all 14 rows to EMP6. So to copy the records, use insert command with select. Write insert command now. How to write, sir? Insert into which table? EMP6. How to get EMP table all columns, all rows? Yeah. Select star from EMP means how many rows we get here? 14 rows. All those 14 rows will be inserted into EMP6. This is called copying rows. Simple. Let me create this EMP6 first. Observe. EMP6 table created with EMP table structure without rows. Check here. Select star from EMP6. EMP6 has no rows. Observe. Now using insert command, I want to copy EMP table all rows. My requirement is copy EMP table all 14 rows to EMP6. So write like this. Insert into EMP6. Select star from EMP. See, sir, 14 rows create. Observe. Now open and see the table data. Select star from EMP6. Now EMP6 has 14 rows. EMP table rows inserted into EMP6. So observe here. Before this command, EMP6 has no rows. After this command, EMP6 has EMP table 14 rows. So this is the query for copying rows. EMP table 14 rows copied into EMP6. EMP6 has 14 rows. Okay, to get grip on it, second example, sir. Second example on copying records, EMP existing table. It has 8 columns and it has 14 rows. My requirement is here EMP7. This is also existing table. It has 4 columns, employee number, e-name, job, salary, and it has no rows. Okay, what is our requirement now? Our requirement is this EMP table managers rows. This EMP table managers rows copy into EMP7. Okay, this EMP tables managers rows copy into EMP7. Actually, EMP7 is not ready. First create EMP7, sir. How to create EMP7? Create table EMP7 as how many columns, sir? 4 columns. What we have to write? Can we write star here? No. Star means all columns we get. We want to get 4 columns only. Employee number, e-name, job, salary from EMP. We don't want rows. Where 1 equals to 2. So EMP7 created with 4 columns without rows. Now what is the requirement? Copy manager's rows. How to get 4 columns manager rows from EMP table you already know. Right? That select command with insert command. What we had write, sir? Insert into EMP7. Select which columns data? Employee number, e-name, job, salary from EMP where job equals to manager. So this select query selects all managers rows. This select query selects all managers rows. So this all managers rows will be inserted into EMP7. Select query result will be inserted into this table. This is copying rows. EMP table rows we are copying into EMP7. Working or not, check here. Observe, sir. EMP7 created, observe. EMP7 has 4 columns, no rows. Describe EMP7. EMP7 has 4 columns. Select star from EMP7, no rows. EMP7 created with 4 columns without rows. What is our requirement? EMP table, 4 columns manages rows data, copy to EMP7. So to copy the rows, use insert command with select command. Tell me the query, sir. Insert into EMP7. Select employee number, e-name, job, salary from EMP. Job equals to manager. Okay, 3 managers are there. 3 managers rows inserted into EMP7. Open and see EMP7 table data. See, sir. Before this insert command, no rows were there in the EMP7. After this insert command, EMP7 has managers rows. So this query copying managers rows. So EMP table managers rows inserted into EMP7. This is called copying rows. Finally, the conclusion is, if anyone is asking, how can we copy the table? Just write create command with select command. Create command with select. How can we copy the table structure? How can we copy the table structure? Write create command with select command with false condition. If anyone is asking, how can we copy the rows? Okay, how can we copy the rows? Copying rows. For copying rows, write insert command with select. That's it, sir. So just to crack the interview questions, if you know this one, that is enough. Okay, for data analyst, these are very important. Okay, sometimes they need to perform ETL operations. From one table, they extract the data and they load into another table for data analysis. Okay, so at that time, these are useful. Original data, they copy into another table. Using that copy, they do data analysis. So this kind of operations are called ETL operations. Extracting data from one table, transferring and loading into another table. So to perform ETL operations, sometimes these are useful for data analysis. For data analysis, these 3 points are very important. For you, just to crack interview questions, how can we copy table, table structure, copying records? To crack those 3 interview questions, I explained this one. Okay, why I explained now only? Because we are going to discuss about insert all. What is the purpose of insert all? Insert all purpose is copying records only. That is why I explained this now. So tomorrow we continue our session with insert all. Tomorrow we discuss about insert all. After that we discuss about pairs. With this, module 1 will be finished, sir. Module 1 tables will be finished. On Monday fresh, we start PL SQL. Thank you everyone. See you tomorrow.